Tonight on Country Squire Radio, is it a bulldog or a Rhodesian? And also, what's a Rhodesian? Find out on tonight's episode. Also, we've got a pipe question of the week about whistling pipes. Whistle while you smoke.
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba.
We can help you with that. Stay tuned. And we've also got quick fire questions, listener feedback, and more happening right now on Country Squire Radio. Welcome to Country Squire Radio. I'm Beau.
And I'm John David.
JD.
Hey, Beau. Good evening, man.
Man, good evening to you. How you doing tonight?
I'm doing great. I am, just pulling back into the shop here. I'm angry because I left a pipe at the house that I really wanted to bring up for tonight's show. But,
oh, snap.
But those are just foolish things that give me another opportunity to smoke my my beloved Bing's favorite. So things are good, man. Things are good. It's picking up around the shop. Of course, we had the eclipse today, right?
Total eclipse of our hearts. Yeah, it was incredible. Where were you when the world went dark?
I was actually the world didn't go completely dark, but I was here at the Squire, hanging out with a couple of our beloved regulars here at the shop. Listener Peter M. And I don't know if Ron is a listener or not, but Ron's a good friend.
Oh, he's getting a
and
shout out.
Longtime customer of the shop. And anyway, we were here hanging out, and we didn't think we were going to get to see it, right? So Ron was busy back there, trying to find these hacks of how you turn like a shoebox into, something that you can see on your, car trunk or whatever.
You line it in directly and it goes down through the thing.
Yeah, and we tried it and it was just like, oh, we're really not going to have a great time.
I mean, at that point, just watch it on YouTube.
But exactly. And so we were lucky enough to be next to just a really awesome liquor store, the famous Package Store.
Of course.
Next to the Country Squire. And they had an extra pair of glasses.
Dude.
And so they hooked us up and we got to see it in full, take some photos. And of course, we weren't in the path of what do you call it, totality or whatever.
Yeah, the total path of destruction.
Yeah, right. I was watching some news thing while it was happening, and someone in Kansas, they saw the shadow of the moon coming towards them.
Oh my gosh,
that's
crazy.
And it got dark. Dude, I would pee my pants. I would run like a little schoolgirl and yeah. Forget it. I'd be out.
It is interesting. We went out to my wife and I had lunch, kind of an eclipse date, is what she called it, and it was great.
It's so lame.
No, it was man, it was wonderful. We sat out on the porch of the Manship, a restaurant that's near our neighborhood.
Yeah,
and, actually, the staff there, I got to give a shout out to them because they actually had a bunch of glasses and they were letting customers use them. So they would
that's really cool.
Isn't that awesome?
And they've got a nice patio area, so that would make sense.
The weird thing is, not many people were actually using it. People were leaving the restaurant, using the glasses, looking up, and that sort of thing. We kind of had the patio to ourselves, which was also kind of an additional nice benefit as well. But yeah, we got to see it through the glasses, and it was, and I'll tell you what, man, it was a sweet time with my wife, which is a good thing because this week we celebrate our 10-year wedding anniversary.
Dude, congratulations.
Thank you very much.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Golly, how much trauma has she had to go through for the past 10 years, man? I know some great therapists. I mean, it's a miracle. Well, obviously y'all have done the work because she's still married to you.
She's still going strong.
No, all seriousness, man, that's wonderful. Congrats. I didn't realize that.
Thank you. We're excited.
Wow, 10 years, man. That's amazing. What are you, 33?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, 33 years old. And man, look, my wife is early on in our relationship, I was like, I gotta lock this down quick. You know what I mean?
And I know Mrs. Beau, and that is the truth.
Absolutely.
Yes. Yeah. You what does one of our friends say? You outpunted your coverage.
Big time.
Yeah.
Big time. Well, and so we'll be celebrating in and around the Anaheim, Los Angeles area, which is a lot of fun. We're leaving first thing in the morning, heading out that way for podcast movement.
Okay, that's great.
I'll be speaking the day before our anniversary on the subject of geo-focused podcasts. So
how romantic.
Yeah. I mean, I only got away with it because literally we're like, hey, babe, let's go to Disneyland for our anniversary. So it'll be a lot of fun, but I'm looking forward to it.
That's great, man.
Well, hey, we got a lot of stuff that's going on here in the pipe world beyond just the total eclipse of our pipes. Of course, coming up, we got the Texas Pipe Show. Pew, 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 pew.
That's it, man.
Get on, little doggies.
Coming really soon here. We're not quite a month away, but October 7th is the date. It's a Saturday.
Absolutely.
It'll be in Fort Worth.
At Pop's Safari Room, Fort Worth, Texas.
That's right.
Man, I got my tickets. I got my tickets locked down this past week.
Hold on, we have to do that?
Yeah.
I thought maybe you and I just kind of show up because people like us.
Well, I did. I did get the honeymoon suite, but I got to tell you that I was planning on just being me. That was all.
Oh, okay. Well, we'll adjust. we'll adjust. Well, maybe there's one of those little parks that, like, those Jellystone parks that you can stay, just pitch your tent out
just
there.
Put a tent
and
out there.
Yeah, no, that's fine.
Yeah.
People would love to see someone look like Sasquatch, but very short.
Yeah, I think my room
walking around in the woods, smoking his pipe.
My room does have 2 beds, but yeah, I think you get. Just
I'm not staying with you. Are you kidding me?
No. That's good. That's good.
I got standards, man. I'm just kidding.
No, but once once all travel alignments are, we're getting close here. As we are wont to do with these type of events, we've got to do some sort of Country Squire Radio listener meetup.
Yeah. So we got to start kind of figuring out some plans for that.
I'm tempted to say morning of, but I know you're not a morning guy, so it's probably maybe evening after.
I think most Country Squire Radio listeners are not morning.
Well, you forget, my friend, we started out as a morning show.
I know, but that's why it was so terrible back then.
that was in the early.
It truly was just awful. the pipe and an occasional latte did get me up relatively early.
And Pop-Tarts. We had Pop-Tarts
and Pop-Tarts. That's right.
Whenever we had interviews, we had Pop-Tarts.
No, we'll be working on a meetup. That's October 7th. There at Pop Safari Room in Fort Worth, Texas. They have some new sponsors. They're really proud to announce that Lane and This Pipe Life, both good friends of Country Squire Radio.
Not to be confused with This Pipe Wife.
That's right. That's right.
The official dating site of Country Squire Radio.
Of Country Squire Radio that we are getting developers to work on immediately. But yeah, that Lane and This Pipe Life, they'll actually be selling sample size tobaccos just so you can try it. All the proceeds from that will go to all the pipe clubs that are working so hard to put the show on, and we're really excited to support them and proud of them. There are a few tables left, not many, but priority will go to obviously to carvers. If you're a carver, you can have a table for free, and they're really excited about that. So please get your name in there. They've got a beautiful website. Be sure to check that out. Also, the Slow Smoke competition, which will be held that day. It's very important. They wanted me to communicate, and they're going to come out with the exact times, which I think they've already set, but I just don't have them in front of me right now. But it's very important. The Slow Smoke contestants have to be there an hour early. You have to be there an hour early. If you're not, they will actually try to sell your ticket.
Oh, snap.
And so it's very important. It's a limited number. It's going to be some really great prizes and just a lot of excitement around that. So we want you to get there early, be a part of that. But don't miss out on your seat. So get there early and be excited.
We're not doing the breakfast thing then, because I definitely want to be there for the Slow Smoke competition, and I got to represent.
I was honored, frankly honored. I still don't know why people think I'm that talented at my job.
Because the work speaks for itself, my friend.
Okay, we've
smoked your tobacco.
We are sitting in front of a few really delicious, yummy.
There's literally a wall of tobacco.
Country Squire private blends that we do hand blend right here in our shop. But I was so honored to be asked to make the Slow Smoke blend actually for the show, and so details to come on that. We're kind of in the infancy of working some of those out, but I'm really excited about that. Very honored, and I hope the folks there enjoy it.
It's fun, man. Look, I just want to mention this real quick. Look, this is a first-time pipe show, and those of you who are tuning in, if you like the fact that there are pipe podcasts, plural. There are a lot of pipe podcasts. Well, there's some great pipe podcasts.
There's a few,
a few
that we're proud to be a part of.
That we're proud to be a part of, and
a part of.
But that's the thing. There's great podcasts out there. There's the YouTube pipe community is vast. But it really is these events where people can get together in your local pipe clubs, in your local pipe events, but these pipe shows that occur throughout the country, showing up, showing out, checking out the new merchandise, learning what's going on in the community, and just getting a chance to bond with people that you've met, be it online or otherwise. It's a great opportunity. And not only are you going to get a great social experience, you're helping get a new pipe show started. And that is crucial. So if you've not made plans yet to come down to Texas, you want to come down to Texas, get some barbecue, see us, see all of the vast membership of the local Texas community, pipe smoking community, and be sure to support this upstart pipe show. We're really excited to be there, and we're really excited for those of you who were able to make it out with us.
Couldn't be happier about it. So.
Okay. Now in town as well.
Yeah, that's right. Just a couple more announcements.
Yeah.
So the Jackson Pipe Night here in Central Mississippi, we've got that coming up on October 28th. We finally set the date for that. And so Jackson Pipe Night, of course, our annual slow smoke competition. We'll have live music, tons and tons of libations, brown water,
like who know?
And the thing that you're probably about to spill all over your computer. We actually, I love this. We actually got a tweet from Portland Paul. He says, John David Cole, are you sure that the bottle is safe from the path of totality from Beau York's arm?
Y'all know Portland Paul's been around.
No, he's a long time friend, and he knows it's probably wise that you just move the Jefferson's whiskey behind you.
There really should be a punch card for every single time I splash my glass during the live show.
Yeah, all over my antique furniture in the shop. Like no, it's exciting. So we're gonna Jackson Pipe Night, October 28th. We're gonna announce ticket prices and all that stuff real soon. You'll be able to come, and if you're in the Southeast region or just happen to be passing through on October 28th, we would love to have you. You don't have to be local or a member of the Pipe Club to participate, and obviously we'll be giving away some really cool stuff. So couple of pipe pilgrimages, man, that happened just within the past several days here.
Oh dang! Okay.
Man, I'm so happy to announce we had our friend Daniel Rhodes from San Marcos, Texas, come in. He actually works at Hill Country Humidor in Central Texas. Just a great tobacconist, old fashioned, just super interested in pipes. He's just such a wonderful guy. He's got a real nice presence on some of the online pipe forums and things of that nature. So Daniel, we're so glad you came. And also Tanner Hollier. Tanner is a pastor in Houston, Texas, and
look at these Texans,
man. It's just so great. He's just coming out the woodworks, man. Just coming out the woodworks, and I think both these guys are actually going to try to be in Dallas here later in the fall. But Tanner, man, just such a great time with him. His wife does some work each year here in Jackson, and Tanner actually got to come over with her and then spent an evening here at the Country Squire with his wife, and we just all had a really nice time right here at this very tobacco bar. And man, it was just really great to connect with these people. They just have incredibly tender hearts, are passionate about what they do. Obviously, Tanner, his home shop is the Briar Shop in Houston, Texas, which is just a fantastic tobacconist. It's a little, maybe 10 years older than the Country Squire. It's been around for a very long time.
35. Yeah, wow.
And so it's the guy that runs that shop is Ross Tyken. He's a friend of mine and really well known as a retailer in the industry. Just has a really a great personality. He's such a knowledgeable person when it comes to pipes and other tobaccos as well, things like snuff and rolling tobacco and all this other stuff. So anyway, just really proud that Tanner got to come by. And you might bump into him if you're in Houston and go by the Briar Shop.
That's awesome, man. Yeah. More from the Country Squire radio community. We got actually Jonathan Walston, who's tuning in live for the first time.
That's
club
great.
member.
Yeah.
Big ups to you, brother.
That's
Thank
great.
you for joining us here.
Thanks for doing that, man.
Absolutely.
You'll probably be terrified and won't ever do it again.
I know, right? Like, this is what these guys look like. We also have by the way, a new club member joining here at Country Squire Radio International Pipe Club.
Yeah.
Craig Cedarquist. And I think I nailed it. Like, I know I butcher names intentionally.
Yeah, sometimes you do it just to be silly, but like I
wanted to at least try.
Say it again.
Craig Cedarquist.
Yeah. I think you nailed it.
I think I nailed it.
Yeah, I'm gonna my money's with you, man.
Craig, if I nailed you, let us know. We're really really excited.
Y'all keep that between yourselves. Yeah.
Glad to have you. Thank you so much for joining. Of course, the Pipe Club, countrysquireradio.com. There's a big banner that says join the club. You can join at the Pilgrim level like Craig did. You can also join at the Squire level. Pilgrim, $3 an episode. Squire at $5 an episode. It's a great way. You get the whole backlog of archived content, as well as access to the Facebook group as well, where you guys have been, I mean, like that.
It's the highlight of my week is interacting.
I'm telling you,
it's great.
The Squire Lounge online for club members and everything is one of the most active, awesome Facebook groups that I'm a member of. Like, it's incredible to see what you guys come up with. And Mark VV, we'll talk about you later on in the show. All right, before we jump into the meat and potatoes of this episode,
yes, eventually we're going to talk about something of substance.
Yeah, something of substance. We have to tee up next week's episode, because next week's episode is actually going to require some listener participation. information. All right, so John David, you're familiar with a cartoon. I don't know if you call it a cartoon show, but it's on Cartoon Network. Robot Chicken.
Yeah.
Okay, Robot.
Yeah, they put all those little clay people together and make them. They're voiced over and all that stuff.
Yeah, action figures and such.
Yeah.
So a while back, like years ago, honestly, there was a sketch on Robot Chicken. I don't know why this is the first time. Well, I do know why. And in that sketch, it told the love story of two famous celebrities.
Okay.
Brian Austin Green and Megan Fox. These during the creation of this particular episode, the idea was they were dating. They had broken up many years ago, and they had gone on to follow their full passions. For Megan Fox, it was her boxing and shipping company. For Brian Austin Green, it was pipes and pipe tobacco. In fact,
okay, so they actually took this like Hollywood power couple or whatever, they split.
They split them up on the show.
One of them goes and creates a shipping company.
Yeah.
This is in the skit or whatever. One creates a shipping company. The other one goes and basically becomes a pipe shop.
He's basically John David Cole. He's got his own pipe shop. In fact, they've got little claymation pipes and everything else, and he's going around talking about his true love. He left Megan Fox because his true love was pipes, and just, I mean, that's commitment, guys. That's commitment.
That's commitment.
And so, the story goes, though, that these two shops, Fox's Boxes and Bag Pipes, BAG, Bag Pipes, were right next
Brian
to
Austin
each other.
Green, right? Okay.
And they never knew this. Like, for years, they've been split up. They've been following their professional passions. And then one day, the sketch tells us that Brian Austin Green walked into Fox's Boxes to see if she had the boxes that his pipes would be able to be shipped in. And lo and behold, they make eye contact. They realize their lost love for one another. And in fact, they go on to create the America's most successful pipe shipping company ever.
You know, I think the folks at Smoking Pipes would probably have something to say about that.
I don't know.
But I mean, these are two A-listers. Man.
Revisionist history. I'm telling you, if Megan Fox and Brian Austin Green started their own pipe shipping company today,
that's it.
Look,
I'd be on board.
Big ups to the folks at SmokingPipes.com. But I'm just telling you.
No, I mean, maybe Brian Austin Green, he could fulfill the orders for Country Squire, for the Country Squire. You know, as we get orders for more and more, 2 ounces of bag end, 5 ounces of seersucker. You know, we can just, let our buddy Brian Austin Green know that you need to get that out. Yeah.
Well, I mean, Megan Fox, I think, was more of the shipping person.
But that's true. That's true.
Here's where this all comes full circle. So
do tell.
So Brian Austin Green in real life, sketch. That's the sketch. Go see it. We'll have a link in the description. Brian Austin Green in real life actually does have a podcast, which is called I think it's called In the Bag, if I'm not mistaken. He's really big in the BAG bag. It's a thing.
That's his initials.
And the reason that this even came on my radar is because I listened to that podcast, and on it he mentioned it. And the producer of that podcast is actually a good friend of mine. And so as soon as I heard the episode, I texted him up. I was like, "Hey man, why didn't you ever tell me this? there's this odd connection here I have to Brian Austin Green and Megan Fox in the whole pipe, world here. What if we were to get pipes to send to Brian Austin Green and his now wife Megan Fox as a gift from Country Squire Radio? Could you make that happen?
Exactly.
Right. And he's like, yeah, absolutely, of course. So here's the deal.
Wow.
All that's up.
Wow.
We now have an opportunity to send pipes to Brian Austin Green and Megan Fox, celebrity power couple. Who, man, could you imagine if they took a picture of smoking pipes from the Country Squire Radio? And everything else? It'd be incredible. But this is our problem.
I think at that point we just have to hang it up.
We need, in order to send them excellent pipes that make sense for both of them, we need kind of a his and hers type of pipe situation.
Right.
That's the tee up. Next week's episode is all going to be about his and her pipes. And we need
his and hers pipes.
We need your help trying to determine what are the best pipes to get for a him and a her as a coupling of a gift. So take that, cook on it.
Take that and run with it. No, and I like the idea, right? So you've got, we're talking about, Brian Austin Green and Megan Fox. These are two people that we're all aware of and are excited to maybe get to, shamelessly hold and promote pipes that they get from Country Squire Radio. But if you've got someone in your life, maybe it's a couple that and you want to buy them a set for them to try something together, something unique, maybe a wedding gift. I don't know. I mean, what pipes go together is his and hers pipes.
That's right.
I think that's wise. Yeah, they've got all kinds of sets on the market that you can buy. The night and day pipes, which tend to be black and white, or the morning and evening sets, or whatever there is. I mean, I think aromatic English pipes, or the list goes on and on. There's pipes that are convertible, where you've got church warden stems, short stems, all this. What would be the best option for someone?
And of
like
course,
that?
we'll have some suggestions as well, but we want to hear your thoughts. Send them in, show@countrysquireradio.com. We'll be sharing those on next week's episode. Now, this week, we're talking about a pipe shape that is controversial. I mean, can I say that? I kind of want to say that.
Well,
well, all right. We're talking about the Rhodesian pipe.
That's right.
And the reason why I say it's controversial is because it looks very similar to another pipe shape that we have already discussed, and actually comes up quite a bit.
Okay, I see your angle now. Yeah.
So the Rhodesian pipe.
Yeah, the Rhodesian pipe. Rhodesians, obviously, Beau is referring to their similarity to the venerated bulldog. The bulldog pipes, of course, you've got the kind of upside down cone met with the right side up cone. They kind of meet in the middle, and then they have the square shank that comes out. And the variant of that is so popular and frankly just iconic enough of a shape to have its own moniker, is called the Rhodesian. It's called the Rhodesian. And so
I'm so excited, by the way, about this, because honestly, I have all day today I've been looking at Rhodesians and thought, oh, it's a bulldog, but I know it's not a bulldog. but it just
that's a beautiful bulldog. I mean, Rhodesian.
But that's the thing. I honestly am going into this with no way to tell, my man, what is the difference between a Rhodesian and a bulldog.
No, and that's totally understandable. A lot of folks, when they get into it, they're like, man, that's just a lovely bulldog. And as the kind tobacconist behind the counter that doesn't want to make anyone feel like an idiot,
there's no judgment.
Then I typically don't correct them. Like, a lot of folks are like, oh, that's just it. You're right. That is a gorgeous bulldog. But so Rhodesians, again, right now I'm holding, this is one of our inventory that actually you can buy at the CountrySquireOnline.com. This is a Seriacapo pipe, very high end pipe, handmade, Italian, and it's a Rhodesian. It has a kind of the iconic cone shape top. It goes out to a rim that extends the farthest from the bowl, and then it has a cone-shaped bottom.
And you got the double ridge.
It has the double ridge, which is always just very, kind of quintessential with the Rhodesians or bulldog shapes. That scoring that goes around the largest part aside from the bowl. And then the key feature here of the Rhodesian, of course, is the round shank. It's a round shank. This particular one has a round shank with a sterling silver band there, and then meets into an ebonite stem. But you've got this differs from this Northern Briar's pipe, which of course is basically the same shape. If you just look at it from a real functional standpoint, but the Northern Briar's pipe has a diamond shank, and of course this is what we call a bulldog. And so Rhodesians have a round shank, bulldogs have diamond shanks.
Okay, may I?
Yeah.
All right.
So be careful, or you're gonna have to buy them.
Right. And this was really expensive.
Yeah, and both of them are like nice pipes.
I mean, the grain is gorgeous on the two examples that you have. Why do you hand me expensive pipes?
Because I'd love for you to.
Oh my gosh! I just saw the price point. You should not have handed me this.
You're holding $800 worth of pipes, right?
All right. So okay. When I'm holding them next to each other, I can clearly see that the bulldog is squashed, whereas the Rhodesian is taller.
Well, okay, that is don't confuse these two with the entire line.
So what's the difference?
So basically, the only difference between a Rhodesian and a bulldog is that Rhodesians have a round shank, and that's it. When you say Rhodesian, you think round for Rhodesian, and that's it. That's it.
Why?
So and there are a lot of folks, they'll try to pick it apart here and there, like, well, a bent bulldog is called a Rhodesian, but a straight bulldog is called a bulldog. Like that, the consensus is across the board from people that are pipe collectors and historians is that a conical shaped pipe that has two cones that meet in the middle, typically with lines, whether they're straight or bent. If it's a diamond shank or a square shank, it's a bulldog, and if it's a round shank, it's a Rhodesian,
Wow.
and that's it.
Why?
Bulldogs and Rhodesians are the same pipe, except one's got a diamond shank and one has a round shank.
What a weird
That's literally it.
differentiator.
That's literally it. And yet that one thing has caused so much difference. Within 20th century pipe smoking, just iconic pipes that are out there.
Yeah.
There are folks that would smoke a Rhodesian any day of the week that would never touch a bulldog. And the thing is that diamond shank, as soon as you introduce the hard edges of the diamond shank,
yeah,
something different happens in a tactile, kinetic way with your hands. How you hold and embrace that pipe. It's a different feel. It's a different feel. And some
true.
people, we talk constantly about how intimate our pipes are with what we want to personify and express and all those kind of things. It's a very personal, it's very expressive instrument that we carry. And there are some folks that just only go with the round shank, and that calls for a Rhodesian pipe.
Interesting.
That's it. That's literally the difference.
I guess I never really thought about it before, and I'm sure this is not the case, but I only ever associate the diamond, the diamond sharp edged shank with a bulldog.
Yeah, no, that's it. That's it.
Interesting.
Rhodesians, of course. I've got another one here. Here's a Peterson Aaron. It's got just a real pretty sterling. Actually, I think that's a nickel band on there. But yeah, again, it's just it's a Rhodesian.
I promise you, if I had walked into any kind of like pipe show, or pipe
10 out of 10
anywhere,
tens, you would have said nice bulldog.
I would have called this a bulldog.
Yeah,
that's a show for like 4 or 5 years.
and that's it. Really, literally, all to remember this, the only thing I ever tell myself is round for Rhodesian. When you say round, Rhodesian, that's it. And so, it's got a round shank. Again, you've got typically the lines that are there, and it looks just like a bulldog. So, this shape is incredibly iconic from mid 20th century pipes. Okay, so we're talking mid century kind of styling. This shape is incredibly popular. It just screams 1950s through 1970s. So again, that diamond shank with the bulldog kind of sets itself off, but the Rhodesian, particularly those chunky Rhodesians that we'll get to here in a little bit, were just incredibly popular there in the mid 20th century, and we see a lot of those come through as estate pipes. So pretty awesome. Why is this called a Rhodesian, Beau?
It's rotund.
Hey, that's as good as a guess of anyone, because no one really knows why these are called Rhodesians.
because it's a bulldog, but they wanted to be all classy about it.
No, honestly, people have actually asked that question. Like, is it, well, the bulldog is a dog breed, right?
Yeah.
Well, so is the Rhodesian Ridgeback. So, like, I
was wondering about.
Would they actually go with like, well, this is a different kind of dog, and maybe it looks a little more, svelte or stately or well kept or something? Would they have named it after that? And most people don't think so, but I mean, maybe we really
got ourselves a dog fight here on Country Squire Radio.
We really the old dog fight, the old pipe dog fight. A lot of folks don't know why the Rhodesian is called the Rhodesian, and we're just not sure as pipe enthusiasts. So
interesting.
Rhodesia is actually the name for a region in South Africa. So not the country of South Africa, but just sub-Saharan Africa. It's modern day Zambia and Zimbabwe. And this area, of course, has a long, checkered history involving British rule and, modern day, even under the, local population, now that it's been returned to them, just human rights violations. So it's very, very tragic history in some ways. But Rhodesia, again, now Zambia and Zimbabwe, that's what we're talking about when we say Rhodesian. And so we don't know why this pipe is called after that, but we do know is that Rhodesia was obviously it has its kind of roots in the British Empire, when they spread all over, the sun never sets and all that kind of stuff. That was part of it, right? And so you think of other African kind of inspired shapes that we have: the Zulu, the Umpal. And now the Rhodesian. These are pipes that kind of have their roots tied up in some of these historic when came about and were popular when the Brits were kind of involved in those areas. And so
Interesting. I
it's
mean,
just strange.
was there a lot of, we've talked about the fact that much like alcohol, tobacco seems to kind of pop up in these different regions and
Yeah, it's just
everything
kind of
else.
weird. Yeah.
Do you think there's a lot of kind of African influence in terms of these designs?
And there may be, it might be something where a lot of folks, they named it Rhodesian because a lot of folks in that area preferred that pipe. We just really don't know. Some folks even assert that Cecil Rhodes, who Rhodesia was named after, we've heard of the Rhodes Scholarship and all that.
Oh
This
yeah,
is a
yeah.
real well-known person in British history, very controversial person in British history. But they assert, or say that maybe, well, the Rhodesian was named after Cecil Rhodes, but
Oh wow.
but Rhodes was not a pipe smoker. He wasn't a pipe smoker, so we really just don't know why this name came about. We do know that as early as the 1930s, Dunhill had the Rhodesian in its shape charts, and so and then it came on from there, and it's just a very distinctive shape that for some reason took on that name.
Can I ask? And
No.
okay, well, I'm always
Yes.
I'm always a little nervous about asking these kind of questions. But do you know which one came first, the Rhodesian or the Bulldog?
No idea. Yeah.
Because you
No
almost
idea.
have to feel like one is the response to the other, or
Well,
perhaps that they were developed at the same time, but people took them in different directions.
oh yeah, or maybe the first shape that came around was the one with the round shank, and then someone made one with a diamond shank, and they were like, well, we're gonna call that something different. I have no idea.
Because I do think of like
I
when you
love the speculation on this because we can almost invent history here as we're talking on Country Squire
we
Radio.
have to be
right?
careful about that. That's the thing. We have to be careful about that. But you do almost wonder because you think of Bulldog, and Bulldog is such, you've got the American Bulldog, you've got the
Right.
British Bulldog. Like that's such a kind of British or American, depending on the breed,
Yeah.
type of mindset. So you almost wonder if like the Rhodesian was taken by a Brit or by an American
Yeah.
and then customized to be their own unique thing.
Again, that's a great speculation. I
Yeah.
wish we had more knowledge about that. I mean, you could search, on and on for hours, trying to find kind of the origins, the genesis of some of this, and just come up empty. There's just a lot of speculation, but no real hard facts.
Mm.
So Cecil Rhodes was a cigarette smoker, so that as far as I know, we don't smoke any Rhodesian cigarettes in today's world. So yeah,
Here's something
I have
about
no
that
idea.
that sounds right. In all fairness, I don't
Yeah,
know why.
maybe we should.
Yeah,
Maybe we should smoke Rhodesian cigarettes.
Nah,
I
I'm
don't
not going to say that.
So, incredibly distinctive shape. The Rhodesian, especially with a thick stem, with a thick stem and shank. During the mid 20th century, this was an incredibly popular shape, but also one that was very distinctive. You've got think of other mid-century pipes, right? Straight billiards, Canadians, Lavats, pipes that it just are very sleek and svelte, long lines and thin, kind of framework. Rhodesians were always kind of the opposite of that, but they were still very popular in their own right. They were chunky. They were thick and kind of I don't know, just took on a persona that looked different than something very clean lined and very slim lined.
We talked about that era in particular, about how the pipe and playing not just in terms of functionality, but also in terms of practicality and storing it on your person and
Yeah.
making sure that it wasn't like taking up a lot of space. Or
Sure.
most recently I think about the dress pipe in particular, and about how it was part of your decor as well. And so the slimmer the pipe, the more convenient, the more stylish. To go
That's
a
right.
chunky route, it's a nice differentiator.
It's
for
a
sure.
nice, yeah, it certainly sets you apart, right? So, the golden age of the French and British made pipes, and when I say that, I kind of am referring mostly to our friends at Camoy and GBD. Of course, GBD, it still exists, but it's in a very much shadow state than it was. Camoy is a great historic brand, still around to this day. Although it's passed under several different owners and all of that, but Camoy and GBD, these in their golden era, they were cranking out Rhodesians that were just really really stunning, and they had a couple that were very very well known. Of course, GBD was kind of the leader in that. They had the shape 9242, which was the Rhodesian with an extremely chunky stem. It was a taper stem. They also had the 9438, which was a Rhodesian with a saddle stem, but very chunky shank, chunky pipe. So if you can imagine this Peterson I'm holding here, but yet it's a much larger bowl perhaps, and the shank is even a bigger proportion of the shank to bowl ratio than what we've got here. So just a real chunky. I wish I had one with me. We see these pipes come through a lot, particularly the 9242. These are incredibly popular pipes in the estate pipe world because they're just not made a lot anymore, which is interesting. But that shape just screams 1950s, 60s, and 70s. It's really amazing. So these are iconic mid-century pipes. It was so popular, and this shape is so underutilized today that actually our friends at Briarworks, Todd Johnson and Pete Prevost, good friends at Briarworks Pipes, they were committed to, they were kind of inspired by this shape. And so they took the 9242 from GBD, and they actually made their new bull moose shape. And so they called it bull moose. A lot of folks refer to the kind of chunky squat Rhodesian as a bull moose.
Wow.
And so that's a thing now, And
good on those guys.
Yeah, and it's a gorgeous shape. I really encourage you, if you are interested. Every time I tell you to go to our website and buy one, but every time we get one, it flies out, so we don't even have one right now. But the Briarworks bull moose, it's the shape C 111, and that shape is actually inspired by the mid-century GBD 9242. Just a really iconic shape from the mid 1900s. So it's interesting too. Of course, we always are referring on our show to our friend Greg Peace at GL Peace Tobaccos. He's got
our friend who's never come on the show, by the way.
Who's never. I know we've tried to do that before, and he's flirted with us, and then he's kind of maybe gotten a little gun shy. I don't know, but
I'm just saying,
we could maybe this could happen. Maybe
the
gauntlet was just thrown down.
I'm just saying.
I don't know. But anyway, but Greg, good friend of the show, longtime listener. And friend of the Country Squire. Greg is quoted as saying actually that the kind of Rhodesian, that chunky bull moose shape, is actually his favorite shape. He's got one of the most incredible pipe collections in the world, and what I love about Greg is he has cataloged almost all of his stuff by brand and by shape.
He would
on his website. It's just awesome. It's really cool. And so you can go check out his website. He's actually got photos of his personal GBD collection and he's got a whole host of these bull moose shapes, which are just really lovely. Again, why is that kind of chunky variant of the Rhodesian called a bull moose? I have no idea. Yeah, no idea. Several other variants, we've got, kind of what I've always referred to as the, kind of road dog, which is kind of this is a Rossi, which is made by Savinelli. These are rounded shank, rounded and semi-angular shanked, Rhodesian / bulldog pipes. I mean, I don't know what to call this except a road dog.
It's a Rossi bulldog.
Yeah, it's a Rossi Rhodesian bulldog. It's a Roro dog.
It's a Roro dog.
Roro. And just a cool shape, but that's a variant that Savinelli has obviously embraced. Another one.
Hang on, real quick. What is your thought on this though? What like this particular style?
That pipe, again, it doesn't have the lines that we always refer to, and so it's certainly a kind of an abnormality. It's not one of those that it's in some way unique to Savinelli.
I can see the appeal, but for me personally, like what makes a bulldog, or in this case a Rhodesian really is the signature kind of ridges on the side where kind of the curves meet each other.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Interesting.
I agree. Yeah, but just kind of their take on it, and that is a very popular shape. And then also another thing that Savinelli has embraced as well, of course, is the author shape. Now, so we look at this. This is the 320, right? It's a 320 shape. This is something, if you have a 320, you even have a club to join. I mean, it's just that much of an iconic shape. But in some way, this is kind of a derivative of a Rhodesian. You've got a really incredibly chunky pipe that has the chunky stem to bowl ratio. Is there necessarily two conical sections that are meeting there? Well, that can be debated, but a lot of folks consider the author a derivative of the Rhodesian pipe, and so you've got the big 320 as we're regularly
I mean, that
used to.
really does feel like a stretch.
That it does, but that is it's something that a lot of folks acknowledge. So
Okay.
they also Savinelli just came out with the 321, which of course is a smaller shaped pipe. And then even you've got Danish pipes like our buddy.
This looks like a Rhodesian that needs to go on a diet.
Yeah, and it probably does.
If I'm being
yeah.
serious, I think.
And again, we've talked about the 320 enough to know that it's an incredibly popular shape.
No,
but it's just one of those that you don't really. You just
I guess I just think of like the subtle character or the characteristics that we've discussed tonight are more subtle in this particular style.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. The round shank, I think, and the chunkiness of it is what you're getting at most there.
For real. Yeah.
And of course you have stuff like this Nerup by our friend Petter Jeppesen. Nerup, of course, Danish pipes. These are all hand finished pipes, gorgeous pipe.
Yeah, that's gorgeous, right?
And
there.
this is almost like a Rhodesian met a acorn. And it's just a stunning piece. So that's one of his basic shapes. So
I
just
forget what I just said about the ridges. This one right here.
Yeah, you love it, don't you?
That one. Wow, that is a pretty pipe.
Pretty great. It's think of like an acorn, but it's got a certain the ridges of the Rhodesian are certainly there without the lines that go around it. So just very lovely, and of course has a round shank. So we call it I don't know, maybe a Danish Rhodesian or a Dandesian.
I think I'm in love. This pipe right here, like I know I was just talking trash about not having the ridges.
About pipe, right? Yeah. No,
man,
exactly.
this is a gorgeous pipe.
Yeah.
Wow.
Really cool. Yep.
Yeah.
So that's the Rhodesian pipe. It's just it's a shape that obviously has a lot of similarities, in spades to the bulldog shaped pipe. A lot of times Rhodesians are seen as a lot more chunky. Sometimes those chunkier pipes are referred to as bull moose pipes, but the main difference there is going to be the round shank as opposed to the square or the diamond shank. And Rhodesians just have their own charm.
One of the things I love about the Country Squire is that whenever anybody is looking at a new pipe, y'all have a mirror and you have a little plastic covering so that people can see themselves smoking the pipe.
That's very important. You got to try on your pipe.
I'm going to do that with this pipe before we leave here tonight.
Well, I'd love to sell it to you.
Man, that's gorgeous, man. All right,
Pretty cool. Yep.
All right.
So anyway, that's the Rhodesian. Yep.
So now Rhodesian versus bulldog. The
round for Rhodesian.
There you go.
That's right.
Round for Rhodesian.
That's it.
I like it.
Yep.
Gorgeous pipes, and of course, we know a couple things about gorgeous pipes. We've seen a few come through this show. We've discussed several over the years, and some of the most gorgeous pipes can come with not necessarily the most highest of prices.
No, that's right.
In fact, you can get a really, really good looking pipe for a really good quality price, and that is from our good friends at Missouri Meerschaum.
That's right.
Talking, of course, about the corncob pipes from Missouri Meerschaum. I was actually thinking about, as we were discussing tonight, the Rhodesian, and thinking about the Rhodesian versus bulldog. I was going to say, and I'll say it anyway. If you don't have a bulldog as part of your collection, you don't have a collection.
Right. And
can I say that?
No, and I think that's true. Yeah, I think that's true. You might have a grouping of pipes, but as far as a collection that's very representative of very common shapes that are out there, the bulldog is there. But in the same vein, so is the Missouri Meerschaum.
Exactly.
That's right.
You got it. Like, just like you have to have a good kind of bulldog, maybe a Rhodesian as well. You have to have a good quality corncob pipe, and don't just buy some random cob that's got a stick in it. No. With Missouri Meerschaum, you get a sense of quality in what you're actually getting. I mean, the styles that you can find at Missouri Meerschaum are second to none. You can also collect various styles from Missouri Meerschaum as well. In fact, head over to their website, check them out. They've got a plethora.
Yeah, dozens and dozens. Yeah.
Absolutely.
And that's why we love them. They have taken homage to a lot of their older shapes, or bringing some of those back out. Short pipes, long pipes, big and small bowls, pipes that have various stains, stem qualities, just all over the map. And we're big fans of Missouri Meerschaum. Of course, they've been great sellers at the Country Squire for years and years, and we highly encourage you to take advantage of some of their deals.
So, hey, if you've got a Missouri Meerschaum pipe, smoke it this week. Take a picture of it. We saw several of you doing so with while you were enjoying the eclipse. You were also doing so with the total eclipse of your Missouri Meerschaum pipe. So that was awesome to see. But take those pictures, send them in to us, tweet those in. We retweet those out. It's a great way to let the folks at Missouri Meerschaum know that you appreciate them for sponsoring this show.
That's right.
So I slur my words there.
The old Jefferson whiskey.
Yeah. Where's that Jefferson whiskey?
It's behind you.
Oh,
you probably don't need any more. Right.
All right, here we go. Pipe question of the week this week comes in from Andrew Coates from Lake Odessa, Michigan. He says, "Hello, gents. I'm a new pipe smoker and have got to say that I love your show. It's been very educational and informative for me, especially the 101 episodes, which, by the way, we need a new 101
Yeah, we're
episode.
about due for one of those, aren't
Absolutely. So I have a question for your pipe question of the week. I have a pipe that whistles when I draw on it. Even when the bowl is packed, I'm smoking it. It's a bulldog style, appropriate for tonight's episode. And it is designed to be smoked with a 6mm filter, but I smoke it without one. Perhaps the whistling would go away if I used a filter, but I prefer not to use one. Have you ever had a whistling pipe before, and do you know how to fix this issue? Please help me solve this mystery of the whistling pipe, for my wife may ban my future use of said pipe for the sake of her sanity." Again, that is from Andrew Coates.
Man, I just hear Andrew like reaching out in desperation for some real help here. And man, I think in order to cure the whistle on your pipe, you might have to start using a filter, brother.
Oh,
yeah, I think perhaps so. I'd be interested to know, Andrew, if you, of course, this says it's a 6mm filter pipe that you smoke without one. I don't know the brand of this pipe, but I'd be interested to know, do you put since you don't use the filter, do you put a converter in your pipe? Okay. Savinelli, if it's a Savinelli, it may be some other brand.
Savinelli, famous for always including balsa.
They always have the balsa, many times having the balsa filter included with their pipe. But the option is that you take the balsa out and don't use it. The key, though, that a lot of people don't know, if they're, if you buy your pipe maybe on the internet, or, don't talk to a tobacconist when you're buying your pipe, a lot of times you don't know that if you don't use the filter, you need to put the converter in your pipe. That converter needs to go in your pipe. It's just a small tube that takes up some of that extra diameter space that's left vacant from the missing balsa. And if you put that in there, I'm thinking that'll kind of narrow that draw down a little bit. But I think all that open air is causing some of the whistling that you're hearing. I think without either the filter or the converter, you're gonna you're just gonna experience that whistle, which is really strange. A lot of times that doesn't happen, but I have heard of it happening before. And some people enjoy the completely open draw like that. If you've got a pipe that's drilled for a filter, but you're not using the filter. And so you've just got this really open draw. Some people enjoy that, but again, you're opening yourself up to their, for a lot of moisture to build up in that cavity. And then also, the whistling that you're experiencing. So try the converter out, see if that helps. You can order those, from our site or various other sites. Savinelli carries those. One should have come with your new Savinelli pipe, which is always really nice. But if that's not working, it may just be a pipe malfunction. It might be something that you just have to get used to. Maybe your pipe should have come with earplugs.
Oh, that probably would have helped the missus for sure.
Yeah.
It is interesting. As someone who first bought a Savinelli pipe, I was really confused when the second pipe I bought that was not a Savinelli did not come with balsa filters.
Didn't it? Yeah.
Because I assumed that this was just a thing.
Yeah.
I mean, we've talked about this before, but when you walk into a pipe shop, you buy your first pipe, especially those of us who walk into it as complete novices, you're surprised by, oh, this is a tamp. Oh, this is what a pipe cleaner is actually for. Like, oh, you need this tobacco, you need this pipe, you need all of these different little accessories. And so when the balsa is kind of included with your pipe, you just kind of assume that's just as normal as a tamp, honestly. And so,
right.
but at the same time, it's part of that classic Savinelli experience.
Yeah, no, that's right. That's right. And I do believe that if you're not using the filter, you need to use the the converter. That's just something that I've found very important, as far as enjoying your pipe. So anyway, let us know if that works. I hope you have some success there, and I hope your wife doesn't get just doesn't make you sleep on the couch because of the whistle.
That's right. Our thoughts and prayers are with you, Andrew.
That's right.
From Lake Odessa out in Michigan. Thank you so much, by the way, for that pipe question. And hey, if you've got a pipe question of the week, send it in, show@countrysquireradio.com. Again, that is show@countrysquireradio.com. Quick fire question. Ow! All right, man. We got some quick fire questions in from thispipelife.com, not to be confused with thispipewife.com.
No,
the
that's
official
right.
dating site of Country Squire Radio.
That's right.
No. This is thispipelife.com, a far superior and actually real site that you want to check out.
That's right.
More on them in just a minute. We are continuing the series of quick fire questions sent in from Ghost of Pompeii. Are you ready for this?
Yeah, bring it.
All right. Yeti or Sasquatch?
Aren't they the same thing?
I don't think so. I've always assumed that Yeti
denotes like ice,
right?
Or like snow, or like the abominable snowman.
Cold, temperate environments.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Yeti.
Yeah,
It just sounds more. That's much more intriguing, right? So you got some giant thing living out in the woods that no one understands, but then on top of that, you add kind of this like Arctic element where there's this mysterious stuff because people don't really live there, and it's in the snow caves and all this. I don't know. I'm gonna go with the Yeti.
I agree for exactly the same reasons. Sasquatch, I mean, it's a Bigfoot type scenario. I've always found Bigfoot creepy. Like I don't.
That's kind of the idea.
I know. Well, but like I don't get it. I don't get the appeal of Bigfoot. Like there's people that like go around searching.
Get the appeal.
I really don't. Like there's a whole community. But
I think the Yeti would be the same way, right?
Well, but
or the abominable snowman or whatever.
Maybe it's because we live in the South and just the whole concept of snow seems like a mystical thing. I'm kind of serious.
No, that's true. No, you're right.
Like when it snows, it almost feels like this shouldn't be happening.
Oh wait, it's Narnia.
We Magic all get out from the sky.
We all get out of school, even though it snowed for like 5 minutes today and didn't stick on the ground.
Exactly. But like in a zone that we are in where everything is like woodlands and heat and everything else, and then all of a sudden there's supposed to be this like man, beast, ape looking thing. It's like, well, that doesn't make sense on any kind of temperate level. This is ridiculous.
Yeah.
I don't know.
No, I don't know.
For practicality reasons, I choose Yeti.
You went with Yeti. Okay, fine.
Walter Payton or Michael Jordan?
I'm gonna go with Michael Jordan.
Yeah, where's the mug?
Yeah. Ooh.
Well, there's no gin. So no gin, no Jordan.
No gin, no gin, no Jordan. Yes, another incredible slogan of Country Squire Radio. Yeah, no gin, no Jordan. If there's Walter Payton, obviously NFL great. I'm gonna go with Mike.
Oh, so football?
That's football. You know that elongated potato-looking ball that they throw down the field with the laces on it?
It's the one they kick and such. But not the soccer one. I do know the difference between that one.
Right. The real answer to this is, Beau, that Michael Jordan and you've never heard of Walter Payton.
Accurate.
And so you're going to go with Michael Jordan.
Accurate.
Okay, good. Let's just be clear.
Space Jam. And Wheaties and tennis shoes.
Right.
Exactly. It was the 90s, guys. Michael Jordan was everywhere.
There's so many football fans just like rolling their eyes right now. It's amazing.
When Walter Payton is on a Wheaties box and has tennis, I'm sure he probably has. But in the 90s, when Walter Payton is on Wheaties boxes in the 90s, is he a modern guy or a 90s guy?
No, before that.
Oh, is he?
Yeah.
I feel no shame. All right. So I'm going to say Michael Jordan as well. And finally, a flood or a drought?
Wow.
I know.
Wow. Country Squire has been flooded before. Our shop has been flooded before. So if you walk in the Country Squire, if you walk to the back of our little store and to the right, you will see actually the flood line, which we have a painting of the actual flood, and the flood line is marked with a little plaque back there. And so we have this kind of I don't know, sensitivity to heavy rain at ye old pipe shop. So yeah, I'm gonna have to go with drought.
I mean, is it? You might know this.
I'm sensitive to floods because of our history here. I mean, I've got photos. I actually need a frame. I've got photos of our shop underwater in 1979.
Aren't you technically below the shoreline or below the What's the
no, like sea level or any of that. No.
Is that right?
No, the river, the Pearl River, is just a few hundred yards here behind our shop.
That's right.
And has over the years had a few high
Look,
river stages.
You drive over that bridge, and the Pearl River, like there's no normal.
It goes up and down. No, there isn't.
It's all over the place.
And so we have been underwater once and lost all of our inventory and everything with that. Got some really interesting pictures of that we need to display. But so we're kind of terrified of floods here around ye old pipe shop. So I'm gonna go with drought.
Yeah, with drought. This is really tough because lately I feel like we've been experiencing a lot of rain in our area, combined with the heat, creating this humidity that is almost impossible to exist in.
It's amazing people can live here.
It really is.
Yeah.
It really is. Like I was thinking about it almost every single night for the past couple of days. I would go home and like at my house and your house as well, we've got these amazing porches. Like that is one thing that about our neighborhood and specifically our houses in our neighborhood is one of us has the best porch in neighborhood and the other one has the second best. I don't know which one. I really don't. Like they're both really, really epic. But here's the thing. It has been almost unlivable outside. And so I'll come home at night, look at the porch, and it's like you can't even breathe out there. So
it's so awful.
Yeah, but that's coming from a combination of the extreme heat and the water. So none. I just want it all to end.
Drought.
I guess.
You're going to have to go with drought.
I guess so.
Yeah.
I'll go with drought.
Okay. You have to pick one. I'm not going to let you off the hook.
We're by rivers, so yeah. We're good. We're good. All right, so great quick fire questions, of course, from our friends over at thispipelife.com. Shout out to Ghost of Pompeii there, who's always good about submitting them in over on the forums there. Look, they've got great forums, and the cool thing is we do have a forum dedicated to quick fire questions and submitting those in. So as soon as you join thispipelife.com, head over to forums, look for the Country Squire Radio forum and add those quick fire questions there. And if you need help, we can send you right there. Here's the great thing. When you register at thispipelife.com, use the code CSR. It lets the folks over there know that you heard about it on this show, which in turn helps the show. It's a quick pro quo. And my name is Beau, and I have rhymed.
Wow. Wow. How long have you wanted to do what you just did?
It just happened.
I don't believe that for a minute.
Well, let me tell you what you will believe, and that is the great experience that you'll have at thispipelife.com.
Of course you will.
The amazing graphical experience and the amazing, awesome connections that you'll establish there on the forums as well. So again, thispipelife.com. Use the code CSR when you sign up at thispipelife.com.
That's right.
All right, man. We got some great listener feedback in this week. A lot about last week we ruffled some feathers.
Look,
but,
I had a lot of fun last week.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying. Last week was great. We had fun with some tobaccos that, if you're in the middle of nowhere and run out of pipe tobacco and need something to tide you over, those are the tobaccos we talked about. The tobaccos that maybe you'll find at a Five and Dime or the 7-Eleven or maybe the Piggly Wiggly. Those are the tobaccos we talked about. We had a little fun, maybe at their expense.
Here's what I love is that the general tone of the feedback that we got overall was very like they got it. Like even folks that I think so. The tobaccos that we discussed, or maybe one or two of the tobaccos that was discussed,
right?
Like they got with it, and like their response was like, "Look, there's no accounting for taste. I get it. You like your stuff, I like my stuff."
That's right. Right.
And I want to make sure that we are clear on this. If we were not last week, and I think the general tone was there, but if you like any of the tobaccos that we discussed and that we perhaps bashed, there's no accounting for taste. It's cool.
No, that's great.
We are totally glad that you like Lagarso. I don't know. I forgot the name.
It's Largo, and
it's not.
And maybe if they called it Lagarso,
it's Largon is what it is.
It was Largo.
Literally.
No,
I flushed it down
great.
the toilet. I smoked it once and flushed the rest down the toilet.
I can't believe you did that to the toilet. But anyway, The point is, Beau and I have always, since the inception of Country Squire Radio, we have always been very clear about our hope that you find what works for you and you continue to do it. So we did have a lot of fun feedback. I had a couple of our folks that do like these tobaccos were like, man, y'all had some fun at our expense, ha ha ha. But these really are good tobaccos.
But not at y'all's expense. I mean,
no, it's okay. It's just to each his own. And frankly, a couple of the tobaccos that scored low on the hamster scale which of course the hamster scale. If you aren't familiar with what we're talking about, please go back and listen to last week's
I think
episode.
it was titled "In a Pinch."
In a pinch. So go listen to In a Pinch on iTunes, or you can probably find it on YouTube. But go check that out, and you will you'll know what we're referring to. The hamster scale, of course. If you scored low on the hamster scale, that means your tobacco was not very likely to wind up in the hamster cage.
It was smokable.
Right. It was smokable. If it scored high on the hamster scale,
it's not smokable.
It just would be more likely to wind up in the bottom of your hamster cage. It's probably not very flavorful, very absorbent, very just foul to my personal taste. These are all personal tastes. So I think everyone's kind of got their own thing, and we had a little fun last week.
This is true. Why don't you jump down to Ryan Smith's feedback? Go ahead and read that one for the good folks at home.
Yeah. So Ryan Smith, he said, you guys have always been pretty careful. Boy, that's true. And there have been times when it was obvious to me some true feelings about a product or a company were being held back. The recent episodes about pipe shop pet peeves and gas station tobaccos have been some welcome realness. Glad I'm finally hearing you guys say some things all the listeners are thinking. So, man, Ryan, that's great. Beau and I, how do I say this? Like,
we're real.
Well, no, we are, but we're also codependent enough to care what other people think about us. Like, I'll acknowledge that as maybe a fault of us. So we're codependent enough to be very aware of, like, ooh, if we say this, is someone going to take that the wrong way? Or ooh, if we say this, and last week we had a little fun at the expense of folks that really love Captain Black Dark. We did, and or Largo, which I don't really have any grid for that, but and that's okay.
I mean, I'll put it this way. I mean, we always try to be very cognizant of the fact that with the platform that we have, we are trying to kind of give a good voice to the industry, give a good voice to the fandom, if you will, that surrounds the industry, people that are enjoying pipe tobacco, and so we want to be aware and do our best to represent various people, regardless of what their tastes may be.
No, that's it.
And I think that when we got to hamster scale type tobaccos, I mean, it was the first time that I really found myself in a place where it's like, I can't even be apologetics for people like this.
No, and that's fine. Like, I will
beyond where I was comfortable. Like,
no, at that point,
somewhere likes this.
If you're going to smoke Largo, that's just I'll defend your right to be wrong kind of thing.
Exactly.
Yeah,
it's America.
And a lot of folks did actually tweet or email in and say, hey, isn't Largo just kind of a cigarette rolling tobacco that someone renamed as pipe tobacco in order to get around the tobacco laws or taxes or something like that. Largo is actually a really thick cut tobacco. Most cigarette tobaccos that are marketed as pipe tobaccos, things like Bugler, any of the Daughters and Ryan products, these are more shag cut tobaccos, but Largo is actually a thick cut tobacco. I don't think, maybe people roll it into cigarettes, but certainly by looking at it, that doesn't seem to be their angle. Their angle is
but by smoking
is to load it into a pipe and to immediately regret it. So I think that's a thing. Yeah.
But I will say this. I mean, whatever you hear on the show, I do want to be clear about this. Any thoughts that we say are definitely our thoughts.
No,
we're always truthful in terms of the reviews that we get.
No, I agree with that. I agree with that.
Even when we are negative, and to be fair, we do try to do so with kind of a cognizant nature of the fact that they are our opinions, and we've you guys who are tuning in, y'all have blessed us with a platform to share those opinions.
That's right.
On kind of a larger scale, and so we want to be careful with that. We really do.
Yeah, that's right. And I was thinking too, like, of all the of all the folks that enjoy those like iconic 20th century drugstore over the counter tobaccos, right? So think about like
Captain Black.
Yeah, Captain Black, Prince Albert, Borkham Riff, Sir Walter Raleigh. I mean, these are some of the most iconic tobaccos of the 20th century, right? And so we've got a lot of our old timers that enjoy that. A lot of folks that that they weren't as worried about the where did this Latakia come from, or where did this what was this cased with, or any of that kind of stuff. It was pipe tobacco that was readily available to them, and the pipe smoking community obviously owes a lot to that culture. and or to that, to those products for kind of carrying us through, making it very popular, and all that. We've got a lot of folks that come into a shop like the Country Squire because their grandfather smoked a pipe. Well, their grandfather probably wasn't smoking, in most cases anyway. Their grandfather probably wasn't smoking something from Cornell and Deal or from McClelland or whatever. They were probably smoking Sir Walter Raleigh or something.
Portland Paul is calling us out. He says, "You guys are going to trip if you backpedal any harder." Look,
I'm not backpedaling.
We're not backpedaling.
I'm just saying what I am getting at. What I am getting at is that the people that enjoyed some of these tobaccos from the 20th century are some of the most bad A people in the past like 5 generations. Okay, so when I make fun of a tobacco that Pappy Joe like might enjoy or some other, these are people that like stormed the beaches of Normandy, right? That were enjoying Sir Walter Raleigh. These are folks that like liberated South Korea from the communists. Like,
they didn't have time to like dive.
Oh, let me find out. Is this Latakia Cyprian or Syrian? Like, no, like these are some of the most hard-nosed people on earth that saved our Western culture from like destruction and whatever. Like I'm sorry, but like Pappy Joe, I respect you enough to know that like if you like those blends, like you can take it.
You smoke what you want. Like, understand this is the clarification.
Yeah,
we respect all pipe smokers.
Right.
We don't respect all pipe tobacco. that's the clarification. And so if a pipe smoker likes a pipe tobacco that we don't respect, we still respect that pipe.
We still
smoker.
Respect the pipe smoker.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I think there's validity to that.
Absolutely. So. All right, and then finally, it's kind of like an addition to the feedback from last episode. That last one right there.
Yeah. Gene Boker, he says, I think the hamsters need to stay. Not every tobacco is a winner.
That's right.
And I like the hamster scale. I think the hamster scale has some purpose there. The higher, again, go listen to the last episode, but the higher you are on the hamster scale, if you're a 5 on the hamster scale, you have created a tobacco that is truly worthy of the hamster cage, the bottom of the hamster cage, that part that is going to mesh with and ruminate with all those products that come from the hamster itself. It's you typically want something that's very absorbent, something that is very newspaper like, worth nothing more than a cedar chip kind of thing like that. That's what you're going for. And for some of the tobaccos that are out there, you're just number 5 on the hamster scale.
It's the Razzies. You know what the Razzies are?
No.
You never heard the Razzies? The Razzies they're like the reverse Oscars. They're awards that are given out for the worst films like that came out that year. And actually Halle Berry once actually appeared at the Razzie Awards because most people don't actually show up to receive their Razzies for what I probably is obvious reasons.
Yeah, it would make sense.
For her role as Catwoman in the film Catwoman.
So she actually showed up?
She showed up because she recognized, this was a terrible movie.
Yeah.
And she even gave a speech as she accepted her Razzie. And it was one of the most classic, iconic things. Like, she gets it.
We invite the owner operator of Largo Tobaccos to Country Squire Radio.
We need to discuss that before we say stuff like that publicly. I have said things, sir.
There it is. The gauntlet is thrown. There it is.
Oh man, that'll be an epic episode when that happens.
Oh, I'm excited.
All right. Speaking of episodes that happen and what we're excited for, stay tuned with us throughout the week as we build up to the next episode, which of course is all going to be about his and her pipes. Now, as we mentioned at the beginning of the show, we've got this awesome gift idea that we were going to give to soon-to-be friends of the show, Brian Austin Green and Megan Fox. Friend of a friend of the show. I think we can say that. Actually, that's accurate. Friend of a friend of the show, Brian Austin Green and Megan Fox. We're going to hook them up with his and hers pipes. Help us determine what those are. If you've got a thought as to what would be a good pairing there, let us know. Send it in, show@countrysquireradio.com or on Facebook or Twitter. Of course, you can keep up with us throughout the week. You can follow me. I'm at The Real Beau York.
I'm at John David Cole, or you can get us at the shop at @_Country Squire.
Of course, all that information and more can be found at Country Squire Radio, where you can, of course, tune in live on Monday nights at 8:30 p.m. Central Time. That's 6:30 Pacific, 9:30 Eastern. Again, countrysquireradio.com on Monday evenings. We thank all of you who are here joining us tonight, giving us a hard time and enjoying the shenanigans that you can only experience on the live show.
No, I agree. And we had a really a club member that's actually this is their first time, and so that's wonderful.
Cheers to you, brother. We're happy that you're here.
He'll never show up again.
Well, you never know. You never know. Hopefully we converted him. But one way or the other, it's been a fun, man. The Rhodesian pipe. I feel like
it was a good exploration.
No, it was a good clarification on my part, because I really did all day today look at Rhodesians and bulldogs, and I kind of feel ashamed that I didn't realize it came down to just the shank.
Yeah, round is for Rhodesian.
All right, well, hey, there you go. Let's go have a night.
See you, brother.
All right, guys, thank y'all so much.
I had a great time, y'all. Thanks for tuning in.
Forgot to give Mark VV a hard time for dressing up as me. That next week, Mark.
No, next week that'll have to come. I think he did a great job.
I think he did. It
was spot on. I mean, he even ordered the T-shirt and had
the
little bowler cap or whatever you call that.
Beardcore. I'm about to sell your shirt, son.
He even cut his beard to look like your beard.
I mean, kind of. Thing is,
Beau's like, I did it.
He needs to put on a few more pounds, unfortunately, in order to really sell the experience.
Maybe lose a couple inches in height or whatever, but it worked out.
Oh man!
Hey, thanks for tuning in, y'all. We appreciate you a bunch.
Absolutely. And Jonathan, thanks so much. He tweets in, of course, first time listener, club member. He says, "I'll be back when not working. Thanks for the laughs."
Absolutely,
absolutely.
Jonathan, thanks for joining us.
All right, guys. Y'all have a good night.
Good night, y'all. See you.